Hello, hello, everybody. So glad to see you here, of course. It's Lorena Creole, and I'm trying not to be too loud because I'm actually in the business center of my hotel. So I can't like rant as loud as I would like to do, but I'm pretty sure you guys will get what I'm talking at. So hopefully you guys can all hear me okay. I've got the mobile setup going on, and I see you guys starting to drop in. So for those of you, if you didn't catch the thumbnail, I got back about 2 hours ago from seeing the live action Little Mermaid movie. I saw it with my own money, and I saw it in 3D. Not because I wanted to see it in 3D, but because, well, that was the earliest showing that they had was a 3D 3D movie. So before I get started, well, two things I'll level set right now. Um, my objective in this stream is just to give you my unbiased opinion and my biased opinion, bringing that out to you. I am not telling you what to do. This is your girl's impression. So, for the first half of the stream, about 30 minutes, I'm going to do no spoiler review. And then 30 minutes, at 30 minutes, and I will give you plenty of warning. I will drop into spoiler territory. So, 17 of you folks, wow, all in here. So good to see you. So good to see you. I see you, Optic Racer. Oh, this is going to be very interesting. You are, I can't believe my, I can't believe my gimbal just decided it was going to freak out on me. I'm so not happy with that. So not happy with that. What the heck is going on? What is, what is going on with my gimbal, guys? Hold on one second. I hope you guys can, yeah, you can hear me. Let's see. I need to fix a, oh, come on. I need to fix a little gimbal thing right quick. So hang in there with me. All right, I don't know what was up with that, but looks like we're back. So Optic Racer says, "Oh, this is going to be interesting. You're always based and accurate." I'm always based, especially when it comes to spending your money on entertainment. I'm going to be straight up no chaser with you guys. And I see you, Steel Leg of History. Be blessed with that appointment. And let's see, have my first appointment. Okay, great. Great. Well, keep in there, dude. Keep in there, dude. Chef Nation says, here we go. I'm going to see this on Sunday with the family. Good to see you, Chef Nation. And we have got Keely Chow in the chat. Hello and roll tide, roll tide. Jonathan Bordeaux says, getting my popcorn ready for this. Well, get your popcorn ready because you are definitely going to need it after you hear what I have to say. My sister's in the chat. It says smooches with smooches. Right back to you. Right back to you. Dawn Howe is here. And you know I'm here for the bias review. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. My bias review is, well, two parts. One in the non-spoiler and two in the spoiler review. At least I am splitting that up. Louise X Sparrow is in the chat. Melissa Bell is in the chat. The Julie Cabral says, hello. Well, hello. I don't think I've seen you in my chat before, so welcome. Tommy Doyle is in the chat. So many of y'all here. Ah! Okay. I was not too thrilled with that. I was not too thrilled with that. Let's see. See, I hate it when I have like the field equipment. Well, not the field equipment, but let's just say all kinds of contingencies and stuff that you have to prepare for. Hello, Tommy Doyle. I see you here. Says hello, Lorena, and I saw it too, and it sucked. Well, we're gonna get into that. We are wholeheartedly going to gonna get into that. All right. Well, shoot. 30 of you guys in here, and my gimbal decides it's gonna be a pain. Okay, fine. Well, we're just gonna take this off, and I'm just gonna sit here and talk to you guys. So anyway, let's see. Keely Chow, saw you right there. OC Giggin says, Lorena, looking forward to your review. D Nice Gamer is in the chat. My goodness, Lost in Wonderland is here. Says hello, hello, hello to you. Does the gimbal have an issue with the Little Mermaid? I'm thinking that it does. I'm thinking that it's probably like, you know what, girl, you're forcing me to work. I don't want to talk about this darn movie, but you're gonna force me to talk about it. Kermit Frog, thank you for sharing that on Twitter. Tommy Doyle says, you know, Geeks and Gamers, I love them. I know some of the people in Geeks and Gamers. And James P says, been looking forward to this all day. All right, let's go. So let me start off the review by saying this. Halle Bailey is an amazing voice. She has such an amazing voice. She did a very good job of being Ariel. Definitely can't fault her for that. I do wish that there had been better directing on some of the musical numbers, especially the first musical number, Part of Your World, because if you've ever seen the first Little Mermaid movie, Part of Your World is the hook. That is what gets us in there. That is what makes us feel empathy for Ariel. And while Halle Bailey she has a beautiful voice, absolutely beautiful voice. And she's a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous girl. But Disney, the director really screwed up with that part. If there's one song that she had to nail, and the fault, I believe, is on the directing, not in her voice, was Part of Your World. So I felt just like, I guess the human world's just someplace she's mildly interested in, not someplace where she has a longing to go to. Let's see. I did say I saw it in 3D. The theater was nowhere near full. In 3D, the cinematography is, on the whole, beautiful. The location shots are beautiful. There's a few shots in the evening that could have been brighter than they were. I will say that the one shot that it really needed to be much brighter, and that is when Ursula basically turns into a kaiju. This is not a spoiler. You know this if you've seen The Little Mermaid. The scene was so dark, you couldn't see her. I mean, all you could see was, the whirlpool, but you could not see her. And in the animated feature, you got to see Kaiju Ursula. For people who don't know, Kaiju is huge freaking Ursula. Okay, so they dropped the ball on that part too. Let's see. Another thing that I did like was the Caribbean vibe. They did actually nail that. I'll say a sanitized version, because it is, I believe, we'll say the 1700s, so to speak. So a little slavery issue going on in real life around that time. So that aside, the Caribbean vibe was good. Undead Nerd says, does McCarthy sing? Yes, she does. And no, I did not like it. Again, this goes to another song. Poor unfortunate soul. Granted, no one can be Pat Carroll. Pat Carroll is the absolute goat. Queen Latifah would have nailed it. Melissa McCarthy, she tried, but I didn't get evil, seductive Ursula, because part of being a good villain has an edge of seduction to it, kind of like the way that Palpatine was very seductive when it came to Anakin. We saw that. We didn't see this here. So her singing was okay, but it was like there wasn't enough power. You know how singers that have that power, like Patti LaBelle, like rest in peace, Tina Turner, like Pat Carroll. I mean, just this, the song just comes out of them, and they could just kill it. So Melissa McCarthy was okay, but Poor Unfortunate Soul, which is a shame, that one was just empty when it came to that. Let's see. David Diggs as Sebastian. I did like him as Sebastian. Of course, he had the Jamaican accent down. The crab still looks like nightmare fuel. I'm not kidding. The crab still looks like nightmare fuel. And Izzo, not Izzo. Sorry, I saw Izzo's place. I was looking at your chat. Um, Not Scuttle, although I get issues with Scuttle too. Flounder again, nightmare fuel. Mm-mm. Didn't like Flounder. The voice actor, no, that just didn't work. Yeah, and Izzo, that was the money shot for the Little Mermaid, when Ursula is just huge, and they screwed it up. It was too dark to see anything, and considering that I was paying to see it in 3D, completely messed up. Totally messed up. Melissa McCarthy was the best part, but the CG was horrendous. Poor Sebastian or Mr. Krabs. Yeah, I wasn't feeling Melissa McCarthy. I mean, for me, the best part of this film was Halle Bailey. I mean, she was a really good actress in this, and I adored her. Melissa McCarthy, yeah, she was kind of punching above her weight class with this particular role. They should have got Queen Latifah. Exactly what they should have did. Hey, Fletcher Williams, good to see you. Good to see you. This is looking like a star, Lorena. Oh, well, thank you so much. Yes, and R.I.P. Pat. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't get her, but they should have gotten her. Totally should have gotten her. Let's see. So is it worth watching? Tim's talk. Give me about 5 more minutes of talking, and then I'm going to get to that, because I want to kind of get to folks' comments. So I'm going to start your comments, so we'll go back to that. So hang on. How bad was Aquafina? Aquafina, they should have got someone else. I couldn't stand her. And Scuttle is the lovable know-it-all. And of course, you can't top Buddy Hackett, but Aquafina, her comic timing is just off. I just wanted Scuttle to basically go down in the ocean and not come back out. And that tune, Scuttlebutt, horrible. I had Camera Girl with me. Okay, Camera Girl, who was raised on the Little Mermaid, wore Little Mermaid costumes, cosplayed as Ariel, met Ariel at the theme parks numerous times, was Ariel as Halloween. When that song ended, she's like, "Oh, so freaking glad that song is over. It was horrible." Yeah, she was horrible. Bad casting all around. And hello, Alan Ing of Film Threat. How you doing, my dear? Says the verse they cut lost all meaning behind how people would be willing to give up their souls for meaningless vanity like looks and live. Exactly. Exactly. It was all about the vanity. You know, how in the animated series she brought up like illusions of people. The guy was ugly, the girl was awkward, and poof, she helped him, and the guy was really hot, and the girl was really hot, and they got together. But when they couldn't fulfill the deal, they got added to her soul garden. And I don't like the fact that we didn't really see a soul garden. We pretty much just saw bones and stuff. And anybody can do that. But Ursula had like the shriveled up souls that, were the harbinger of, guess what? You sign this deal with Ursula. This is what could happen to you. Mighty Orbot says no black women as big bad. Yeah, which is a shame. Because everybody knows a villain is one of the best parts of a movie. Ugh, I need to cut that out. My God, Tina would have done justice with that song. In my dreams and in my head, I hear Tina Turner singing "Poor Unfortunate Soul." Unless they're written to be as sympathetic, yes. And I don't want to see sympathetic villains. I want to see unapologetic villains. Undead Nerd said Jacob Tremblay is a good actor. I recommend Good Boys. Is Jacob Tremblay, was he Flounder? You can just remind me. It's like Flounder was okay. he You need a voice actor like Keegan Michael Key. He does Toad's voice in Super Mario Brothers. You need someone who can act like that, and I didn't really feel it in this. Yep, I'm doing non-spoilers first. Seems like a no so far. I'm gonna get to you. I'm gonna get to you. Would you recommend 3D or regular Nightmare Fuel? Definitely regular Nightmare Fuel. Many are saying there's a scene with Max and Ariel that steals your heart. Elaborate. OC Gigan, um, I'm going to say yes, but I'm actually going to save in depth for that during the spoiler talk. But I will say that they did a good job as casting Max the dog. I will definitely say that they did. Lorena Creole, I saw the picture of Flounder, and he looks like he has seen some things. Sorry. My phone really does not want me to do this. Yes, Aquafina was horrible. How good were the new songs? Joseph, the new songs sucked. They absolutely sucked. They felt soulless. If you've ever seen the live action version of The Lion King, same thing. The songs were soulless. The reason why The Little Mermaid, the original, was so good was because of the musical numbers and how involved they were and how they made you feel. And they were just bigger than life. This, no, no. And for those of you who are my members, you heard me call that out when I did the little out the theater review for y'all. This soundtrack is horrible. It really is. Sorry, Lin Manuel, you did not nail it with this one. Not at all. If Lin does, I totally missed that. Cast Ken Jong as Scuttle. Yes, absolutely right. Ken Jong, he is hilarious. He has great comedic timing. I totally would have been down with that. Totally would have been down. Heard part of Scuttle's song and it was horrible, like an outdated rap. It was disgusting. I'd rather listen to mumble rappers than listen to that. Did they leave the cook? Chef Nation? No. And I'm pissed about that. For folks who don't know, in the original, they had the cook played by the late Rene Bergenois, who, sang the song about how he makes the fish and he pulls the limbs out of the crabs and all of that. So the Cook song wasn't in there. There was a reason for that, and they didn't put it in there. Ugh. Did they sing any of the Broadway songs, World Above, She's in Love? I'm not sure Lost in Wonderland because I've never seen the Broadway version. So I cannot tell you with respect to those two. I'm sorry. The kids at my screening were squirming at the 90-minute mark. The new movie is too long and ruined any repeat screening from families. Yes, Alan is absolutely 100% right. I want to say probably within an hour, actually less than an hour, there were kids behind me where they were just shuffling along, and it didn't, yeah, it needed to be 90 minutes or less because kids have a very, very short attention span and very small bladders. And this film, it's not going to capture their attention for long periods of time. They're going to wonder, is this over yet? Is this over yet? Is this over yet? Yeah. So I don't see repeated screenings from families. Super Mario movie, Super Mario Brothers movie was perfect. 90 minutes, boom. And the kids, you didn't hear a peep, except for when they were clapping and doing all that. Fletcher Williams says, what the whole diverse island people as jarring as people say. I'm going to say yes and no, and here's why. I'm guessing this is kind of like a replica of the island of Jamaica. All right. And we'll say during the British colonial period, it would not be out of the ordinary to see different types of um, people there. As a matter of fact, not the motto or the creed, or there's a saying about Jamaica, out of many, one people, many different peoples. So it didn't really jar me very much at all to see, Indian, Asian, white, black. That's how the Caribbean was. And it actually still is at that time. So that really did not jar me. For people who don't know that part of the history, and my family history is mainly from the Caribbean, it will be jarring to you. But someone from the Caribbean, no, it wouldn't be jarring to them. Let's see. It really is sad. Disney set the standard and had among the best villains for decades. Yes, but Disney will not allow villains to be villains. And that's the problem. And they need to go back to that. Did Ursula sound convincing in the song, Would I Sign Away My Soul? This version of Ursula with Melissa McCarthy, no. I'd be like, heifer, I'll find my own way. There was nothing seductive. There was nothing seductive about it. And I want to say, because if you remember, in the original, when Ursula's like, here's the deal, you're going to have to give me your voice in order for you to become part of the human world. And Ariel's just like, but I'll never see my father's sisters again. This Ariel is like, oh, that's wrong. That's wrong. And then Ursula says something to make her flash back to her dad basically, destroying all her stuff. But you didn't feel seduced. And that probably sounds like or we'll say enticed. There needs to be that enticement. And Melissa McCarthy as Ursula did not have it. Tommy Doyle says outside of Ursula, the underwater shots are either too dark or too bright, and there's no balance. I agree. There isn't a consistency of color palette. And while I did like the bright shots, just the shift was difficult, and I didn't like it. James P says I saw the original in my early teens. with my younger siblings. Hate that Disney did not nail it. No, they didn't nail it. Thank you, Izzo. I'm so sorry. I'm like, I usually don't stream it on vacation, but I needed to stream and tell you about this. Louise X Sparrow says sounds like it has a lot of the same problems as most of the other live action remakes. Yes. Yes. And let me talk about that a little bit. The original music was amazing. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And Alan says, you didn't like Prince Eric walking down a hillside emoting his brains out? Oh, Lord. Emo Eric. I can't. I can't with this. A whole song with him pouring his heart out, and we haven't really seen that much of a buildup except that he saw somebody. No. And most kids are probably like, I don't freaking care. Where's the dog? You know? Uh, hey, John Self. Yes, I survived. I survived. Josh Tech Gamer, that sad no cook. That yeah, I was looking forward to the cook song. I love the cook song. And Sebastian like, oh my god, cook song is too much fun. And I know Chef Nation, my heart broke because I completely forgot about that. There's an edited version on Disney Plus. Okay, all right. Why do you include music at all? Do you think it would have been more interesting with just more realism, no talking fish or seagulls, and no music? Yeah, if you're going to do a dramatization, just do a dramatization. But I think what they wanted to do is piggyback onto the musical success of the animated version. Same thing like what they did with the Lion King. Same thing. Same thing. We are waiting to laugh with you. Hey, right, that's my brother. And hey, Jerry Minoza says, hey, Lorena and Chad. Okay, well, let's see. Is this worth seeing? No, no, it really, let's put it this way. If you are a Halle Bailey stan, yeah, you're gonna want to see this. Because like I said, she sings beautifully. She definitely nails the role as Ariel. But I highly no, I really cannot recommend this. It's too long for families. Um, the switch between super dark to bright. That's a problem. The songs are just awful and not very engaging at all. And most importantly, I won't say most importantly, but yeah, there's two things. There is the whole thing with Ariel and her wanting to be in the human world. She falls in love with a human. Okay, we know that they tend to make this big prejudicial. I mean, Triton, he didn't really trust humans, but he didn't seem to be a bigot about it. And that's what really irritates me about this film. There's so much bigotry from the mer people that we didn't see in the original that it was quite jarring and not necessary to have at all. Even to the point of having her sisters complain about the ships destroying the coral reef. Please, if you've ever seen any sunken ships, the first thing that the coral reef does is reclaim that. So I really didn't like Triton's bigotry in this one. And I also didn't like how yet again you have the male character, so to speak, just there for window dressing. He doesn't really do anything. He isn't essential to resolving the climax of the movie. I'm purposely not dropping spoilers. I'm gonna drop spoilers a little later on. And as we all know, one of the reasons that Triton changed his mind about humans was the fact that Eric was the one to save the day. I'll leave it at that. That's what the original was. When you see the movie, I was not happy with how they went with that. Let's see. Oh, first of all, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Josh Tech Gamer. I'm new here, gave you a like. Oh, skip Peter Pan, dude. I'm gonna tell you right now, just skip it. Thank you so much, Positive Fandom, for that 99-cent super sticker. Thank you so much, my dear. And I so do appreciate that. Folks, you've got to check out Positive Fandom's channel. She has amazing live streams. And of course, you see me with her on Ladies of the PGS over on the Burr Network. And next week on Toxic Male Appreciation, we are actually going to talk about why Disney princesses are nothing without the toxic male. We're going to talk about that. And Fletcher Williams also sent me a 99-cent super sticker. Thank you so much, my dear, for that. I sure do appreciate it. Appreciate all the support. You guys are absolutely amazing. Amazing. Do you agree? Under the Sea, underwhelming. Yes. They kind of had a small homage to Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, but overall, I was just waiting for the next scene. And again, these musical numbers, Under the Sea, it's like supposed to be huge, a big number. And the Blowfish, for those of you who've seen the original, the Blowfish, you're expecting this like tuba blast to come out. No, all we saw was Blowfish expand so she can kiss it. I'm just like, get the frick out of here. Are you kidding me? Not all that great. Darkwing Duck, thank you so much, my darling, for that $10 super chat. Says a little something back for the ticket. Bless your heart. Oh, well, thank you so much, my dear. I appreciate it. I appreciate it so very much. Appreciate getting that coin back, because let me tell you, whew, that ticket price was tough. Whew. But I will say the theater that I went to, hadn't been there in 2 years because I'm back in Philly. Major upgrade to that theater. So I was excited to see that. Thank you so much for that, my dear. I sure do appreciate the super chat. Let's see. Hey Becky Browen, how you doing? Says hope you're doing well. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. What's the other thing? Let's see. I talked about uh Triton being a bigot. Also Javier Bardem as King Triton. No, no. I don't know why they didn't get Antonio Banderas, because Javier Bardem put me to sleep. I'm deaf. No, no. Should have been Antonio Banderas. Or maybe Vin Diesel. Either way, I would have been down with that. Thank you so very much. Abu Nas is in the house. Hello, my dear. Don't mind me. I'm just lurking around listening while I'm fixing dinner. Love my producer when she wants to curse so bad but doesn't. You know, I'm trying not to curse. I'm trying not to curse. Abu, there are some really nice father-daughter scenes that are in here. But in the end, it's basically the daughter telling the father, well, if you would, I'm paraphrasing, basically, well, if you would have just listened to me, none of this would have happened. So I'm glad you came to your senses. It's like they were fine till that part. Till that part. But I'm so glad you're here, my dear. And thank you for the $5 super chat. Abu Nas of the Dark Council. Thank you so much. And thank you. There's like over 50 of you guys in here watching. Holy crap. So good to see you. So good to see you. And Lost in Wonderland. My phone's like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Let's see. Ah, we're going to fix this. We're going to fix this. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to get down to this. Trying to get down to this one. Heavy D, don't curse. Yeah, I'm really trying. I'm really trying. Lost in Wonderland says, I can't wait for the Disney princesses needing a prince debate. Yeah, I really do have to thank Positive Fandom because I had a lot of issues with watching this film, especially when I get into spoiler territory in about five couple minutes about that. And it was pretty much the straw that broke the camel's back. And we were kind of talking about just what is it that made princess movies so special? Like if you go back again, like The Little Mermaid, like Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, even Brave, kind of, sort of, in a way. But even Rapunzel, what? No, Tangled. Excuse me. What made those movies so good? What was the counterbalance? And the balance there is the Disney Prince. And I swear, Shrek did it better. So we're gonna talk about that. Okay, I'm trying to think of what else. Yeah, did they make him a bad dad? I wouldn't say the bad dad part. I would say is he was just too much of a bigot towards humans. I didn't like that. Of course, they went that way because they had to set up this, I want to say, this conflict between mer people and humans, which I believe taps more into the quote unquote realized racial strife. I did not like that. At all. It was completely unnecessary for them to throw that in there the way that they did. The other thing is the prince basically, we need to go out and search and interact with other cultures. It's like, bruh, this is the mid 1700s. You've had Europeans in the Caribbean since 1492. The British Empire is all over the place in the Caribbean. The Caribbean was a crossroads of culture. South America, Europe, Philippines, everybody crossing through the Caribbean. So there was plenty of interaction with other cultures. So I found that I found that to be historically inaccurate and also disingenuous. But of course, they were doing that just to make a DEI point. Did they make the father without a backbone? Um, they made him like he was in the original, so he had a backbone. But I didn't like the way that his daughter talked down to him. That's what I really did not I didn't like at all. Thank you so very much, OC Gigan, for that 4.99 super chat. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you so very much. I'm trying to get to. Yes, a princess is nothing without our prince, the original toxic male. Oh, girl, I can't wait to do that show with you. Whew, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. Let's see. OC Gigan, here I go. What was the general theater reactions? Any clapping, laughing, or awes from people? Support Lorena. Well, thank you, OC Gigan, for that 4.99 super chat. Uh, Theater general reactions. You could hear an ant fart. Hardly any reactions. The major reaction from Camera Girl, like usually we like to stay when the credits roll. As soon as the credits started rolling, she was just like, I'm ready to go. I'm been ready to go. And this is a girl who likes to sit, watch all the credits because she wants to know who does the art, who does the costuming, all of that. We're usually sitting down when everybody else is up and left. She was like, no, I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. I'm out. I'm done. Uh, let's see. Did they explain in detail on all Ariel's sisters from all over the world? They just said that they were from the seven seas, but that was it. Although, with considering how different all the sisters looked, I'm guessing that King Triton, Papa was a Rolling Stone. Mm, let's put it that way. Did your audience laugh when King Triton appeared out of nowhere in the end? The Little Mermaid ride did the scene better. They were kind of just like, the hell? Yeah, but the line that they missed, that I hate that they missed, but they had to do it in order to do the whole "she don't need no man," was when Triton saw his daughter with Eric and said she really does love him, doesn't she? And that's when he basically says, how much I'm going to miss her, and gives her legs. He didn't say that line in this one. So it was just freaking soulless. Yes, Quang Su, he got around. He totally got around. So the prince doesn't save Ariel. I'm gonna save that for the spoiler chat in about 2 minutes. But I will say I will say this one. I don't blame Halle Bailey for taking this role at all. At all. If somebody had said, "Hey, do you want to be, mermaid?" Yeah, sure, I'll take it. It's a Disney movie. Put it on my resume, and none. Of course, they talk about the whole representation thing, and what I tell people, and keep this in mind: representation is important, but it is nowhere near as important as a great story that has a universal message. And when it comes to this, how would I put it? I almost lost my train of thought. Um, did I like seeing a brown skinned girl who looked like me under the sea swimming with the fish and everything? Absolutely, because I love mermaids. And it's nice to see that. But when I saw that, I'm thinking in the movie just how freaking bad this movie was. Now, as folks know, Disney played up the racial angle with this movie, which they shouldn't have done. They didn't do that with The Princess and the Frog, which is why that actually did so well. But they did it with this movie. And surprise, surprise, I wholeheartedly believe the reason that they did that is it wouldn't matter if Ariel was white, black, polka dot, striped, LED green, blue with stars on their bellies like Sneetches. It doesn't matter what Ariel would have looked like. This film was absolutely abysmal. Total waste of time. I would not go back and see it. If you really want to see this, I would say wait until you see it on Disney Plus. This whole thing, this whole movie, again, you've got heavy on the women know everything. Men only know what they're going to let them know, and Ariel don't need no man. And that really gives the wrong message, especially to kids that are watching. So I would say if you're going to watch this with your kids. Have a discussion with them at the end of this film, because there's strife being introduced That shouldn't be. And just not good. Not good at all. Did not sit well with me. I expected better from Disney, but their live action films have just been atrocious. And if I had to give this film a rating, I would give it a 4 out of 10, unbiased. My biased rating would be a 2 out of 10 because I don't like being pandered to. Disney marketed this movie as if, hey, we have a Black Mermaid that's playing Ariel. Now, granted, you can do whatever you want to make a property, but don't make something based on something that you already established previously and expect for people to not have problems with it. It's not enough to do representation as, oh, we're just going to race swap a character. That's lazy. It's a slap in the face. And you could have done much better culturally if you hadn't have done that. This was a sloppy seconds. If it was a way better story, I could overlook that, but I'm not. And also to let people know, it is not Halle Bailey's fault that she got cast in this. It's a job. All right. You want to blame someone for casting? Blame Disney. So yeah, that's my recommendation. Don't see it. Save your money, wait for that sucker to show up on Disney Plus, or go instead, take the money that you were going to go to see The Little Mermaid and go get Super Mario Brothers on digital. That's what I would tell you to do. King Triton had 7 wives, not sure what he did to them. Is it like Henry VIII? An unexpected fire says, hi, Lorena. I just wanted to say thank you for your service. Well, you're very welcome. I am going to go into spoilers in about 30 seconds. I'll give you guys a heads up. Darkwing Duck says, do you think it's $1 billion movie? No, no. Once the word gets out, I do not believe that this is $1 billion movie. I would go back and watch Quantum Mania again before I watch this. Now, I could be proven wrong, but if I was a betting person, I would not bet on this movie making $1 billion. It doesn't have the legs to do it. And I got free posters. Yeah, that were really dark and ugly. Camera girl was like, this is really, really ugly. Share Bear, Lorena review. Little Mermaid is belly up. You got that right. Kind of how I was hoping Flounder would be, because I just didn't want to freaking do it. Linda T says, whoa, tell us what you really think. I'm going to tell you. I'm definitely going to tell you, because you take your time and effort and money and expect to be entertained. I mean, not every movie is great, but it's like, shoot, Disney, for real? We expect more from Disney. And you keep making these crappy remakes. I'm scared for Lilo and Stitch. That's another one of my movies. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. Let's see. Did any scene make you spit out your popcorn? Nope. I feel the haha too. I feel Lorena is going easy on him. I could go harder, but I will say they did a good job of rendering the ocean realistically. The cinematography is beautiful. The color palette sucks, but the cinematography is nice. They nailed the Caribbean vibe. Daveed Diggs, I freaking love him as Sebastian. So, like I say, my unbiased opinion is a 4. My biased opinion is a 2. This movie should have never seen the light of day. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. They used her to virtue signal. Yeah, they did. They totally did. Shenanigans 0117. Raina, you should look up different African myths, fairy tales, and popular stories, and videos, and which ones you'd like to see on film. I'd love to see what stories that continent has to tell. That is an excellent idea. Free toilet paper, Ace Stunning and Brave Megatron. Woke Mermaid. Yeah, you know what? I am going to talk about spoilers right now. Coach A says I'm looking forward to the ocean designs and underwater stuff. Now, some of the designs were okay. You know, they were vibrant. They were okay. I did like the skin shimmer that looked more like scales. Um, I thought it sucked that the Little Mermaid didn't sign her contract with Ursula. She just picked out a scale. I thought maybe it was blood and she was going to sign it that way, but nah, didn't happen. So that kind of got on my nerves. She got pissed at that guy in Mexico during the interview on that show. I think a lot of that was a cultural misunderstanding, but at the same time, I think they took it a different way when the host was saying, "Well, I don't see color." It's like, of course you see color. You have two eyes, right? So I can kind of see why she would think that she wasn't as graceful with it, especially given how Mexico has only recently been including Afro-descendentes, which are African descended Mexicans in the census. So Mexico has its own history of racial issues, but she's a young girl, and I think she just got offended and it sounded patronizing to her. And that's one of the things that you have to understand when you're going to a different country. Some of them feel comfortable asking you certain things that they really don't know is impolite, to ask. But there's plenty of black actors who've taken the high road, just kind of like, oh, well, thank you, and leave it at that. Don't say, hey, don't give me these uneducated people or uninformed people to interview me. That's diva behavior, honey. Not good. You don't want to do that. Yes, Koj, she did not sign. She didn't. We all know in the original, when Ursula rolls out that contract, having her sign the contract is a way of her saying, I'm committed to it. It's like an act of commitment. There's been an offer. Her signing it is the acceptance. Ursula giving her legs is the consideration. And it was a big deal to see her sign that. If I remember correctly, I think in the original, when Triton tried to, blow her up, she pulled out that contract that says ironclad. I think she said that. But nah, they didn't do that part. So, spoilers. Let's rip this band-aid off right now. Ariel winds up saving Eric. Ariel is the one who takes control of the ship, which she's never used before, to kill Ursula. Now, why is this a problem? In the original, okay, Eric is the one that saves Ariel. Eric is the one that proves his worth by killing Ursula. By Eric being the toxic male, basically, heifer, you tricked me, you hexed me, tried to basically, you curse the woman that I love. I'm coming for your ass. That didn't happen. We got Eric floating around in the ocean. That's pretty much it. I think the most helpful thing he did was say jump, and that was it. So while he's floating around bobbing in the ocean and Ariel has to keep saving him, Ariel's the one that jumps onto the ship and rams the mast of the ship into Kaiju Ursula, who you can barely see because the lighting is so darn dark. So basically, she basically stole his thunder. Again, women don't need no man. Why? Because in the original, when Eric did that, that is the thing that basically, I won't say melted his heart, but pretty much that's what proved to King Triton that Eric truly loved his daughter. He was willing to die for her because he was in love with her. And that's why he was just like, she really does love him. And the reason that he said that with so much emotion in the animated version is because he knew what lengths Eric would go to try to protect Eric. We didn't get that. What we got was, yeah, Daddy, I killed him. I know you're bigoted against, humans, but he helped a little bit. He helped a little. And of course, thank you for saving me because, Triton basically said he'd give up his Triton, Trident, and give it to Ursula in exchange for, you know, letting Ariel out of her contract. But Ariel talks so condescendingly at her father after thanking him for, changing places with her. That was unnecessary and not needed at all. And I thought that was really disrespectful. So they had issues with her formal consent with the prince, but not the witch. Yeah, they didn't have a problem with that. That was okay. All the underwater stuff looked like actors' faces glued to CG bodies. It was a little weird, but I like the color. I like the color, different colors. Why didn't she sign? That was a great moment in the movie. She's signing but turning away at the same time, and her face is lit up. It's such an unnecessary omission. You know what I think part of it is? Um, it's an indicator that we all know of personal responsibility. Ariel didn't have to do what she did, but she did it anyway, and she needed to face the consequences of that. And one of the indications that Ariel was consenting to that is how she signed it. She didn't want to, but she was just like, if I don't sign it, I'll never go to the human world. And that was such a thing that they missed. Spoiler alert: the movie sucks. Dad, I killed the sea witch, and oh, Eric helped too. Yeah, that was the line. I saw that line. I heard that line. Camera girl looked at me like, "What the heck is this movie about?" And it made zero sense. Yet again, don't need men. Oh, he helped a little bit. I would even give them points if it was a team effort between Ariel and Eric, but Eric had to get the kill shot. All right. I would have been cool with that. But no, no. In order to kill Ursula, did she become all the mermaids? Nope, but all the mermaids came out in the end. Like, this is great marriage between a human and a merwoman, so mermaid. So we're all gonna live together in harmony and we're all gonna sing Kumbaya and it's gonna be great. I freaking kid you not. That was the end of the movie. In the original, they were fighting together. It was balanced. Exactly, Louise. And it wasn't in this one, like at all. Eric did the equivalent of throwing a rock in the back of somebody's head and running away. That's pretty much what happened. Zephyrus, hello, says, "Ugh, that's so dumb. Eric saving Ariel helps Triton see that not all humans are bad. It's why he gives her legs. He sees how much they love each other." And that right there, Zephyrus, is the crux of what the original was about. Completely. Simple, universal message of love and sacrifice. And a father willing to let go of his daughter. He's been the one who's protected her for so long, but Eric shows that he loves her enough to protect her. Bing, there you go. Disney's forgetting all this crap. Stunning and Brave Megatron says it also proves to Ariel's father that he's a worthy suitor. Exactly. Exactly. Flip side, if you guys saw Shrek, okay, he was a worthy suitor, but everyone just looked at his outwardness, that he was just this mean ogre. There's no way in the world that he could, get the princess. But he was a worthy suitor. That's why he won out. Disney sure likes emasculating their male characters. Yes, they do. And I think, and actually, yeah, they probably know this but don't want to admit this. The more that they emasculate their male characters, the less and less the Disney Princess franchise becomes lucrative. That's it in a nutshell. Camera Girl is an avid Disney Princess fan, and after this movie, she wanted to punch somebody. She was like, "What the heck did I just see? I'm so angry. I could just see red." And then she dumped on her Discord with her friends. I mean, they're all doing this furiously, talking about how much they don't like this movie. So word's gonna get out. Linda T says, "Oh my God, Disney, get over your fear of having strong male leads." It's very irritating, extremely irritating that they would rather go with this DEI initiative thing instead of giving us good stories. It's like you can have strong female characters, we've seen that, but you can do that and not do it at the expense of the male characters. You can bring in diverse characters, but give us the story and give us a universal message that regardless of what you look like, you're going to plug into that, get some cultural knowledge, but at the same time, it's like something everybody can enjoy. Case in point, I'm not Korean, but I love K dramas because there's so many universal truths in that. I'll just sit and watch it. Doesn't matter. I'm not Korean. I love them. That's why. No great moments, LOL. No, I really can't think of any. I cannot think of a one at all, which is uh, which is sad. Hey, Zachariah 315 says, "Howdy, y'all. Good to see you. Good to see you, my dear, and over 50 of you guys watching here. Thank you so very much. Please do consider subscribing to my channel. It's going to be a crazy summer, and you're going to be getting a lot of based spicy reviews from your girl." Zephyrus, in the original, Ariel and her friends are really aware of the 3-day limit to get Eric to kiss her. Do they just ignore that in this version? Yes and no. The friends are aware of the 3-day limit, but Ariel is not. And as someone who knows the original version, that was frustrating as nobody's business. It was like, why the heck did you do that? For her to have no memory of that, that was part of her motivation. I have to get him to kiss me in 3 days, but I don't have my voice and I can't talk. So the clock is ticking. I got to figure this out. They didn't do that here. It's just freaking ridiculous. I don't know why they did that, but it was dumb. It was dumb, and they really shouldn't have done that part. And for those of you who remember the original, camera girl in the movie theater was just like, but Ariel knows it's 3 days. Yeah. I think they did that, threw that in there to try to make Melissa McCarthy's Ursula much more much more ominous than she really is, and it backfired because she knew that she was going to come back on that third day and blow up Ariel's spot. That's why we're shocked when we see this lady with Ariel's voice walking on the beach. That's why. In this one, it's just like, oh, okay, well, she won't even remember it's 3 days. And then the kiss the girl scene, Flotsam and Jetsam knock them out of the boat before they can kiss. I don't remember that in the original either. Will 5-year-old kids like the movie? Hello, Humphrey Bear. I'm going to say no. The movie's rated, I think it's rated PG. There's not enough like engaging action that's on screen. The kids are going to get antsy because they're not getting to the point fast enough. The kids may like the movie for 5 minutes to like see all the underwater things, but it's not worth how much you're going to have to pay in tickets. So I would say 5-year-old kids, no. 8 to 9-year-olds, maybe, but movies are expensive, y'all. I mean, movies are expensive. They can be anywhere between $15 to like $30 a ticket. Imagine taking a family when you go, and then you got to buy snacks, unless you're like your girl and I sneak snacks in the movie theater because dang it, I just do that. It's expensive. It really is. So that's something to keep in mind. And if it's comes down to you spending time with your child, or should you spend it on the movie, that's kind of like a personal thing. But I'd just buy Super Mario Brothers on digital download for that much money. For real. They deviated from the source material. Yes, to their detriment. And it didn't work. Steel leg of history for $1.99 super chat. Thank you so very much. I just kind of saw that pop up. I appreciate that. It says, if she needs legs, I have spare ones. LOL. It's a good one, my dear. Good one, my dear. Thank you so much for that super chat. I appreciate it. So appreciate it, my dear. You stay blessed. You stay blessed. Let's see. Geez, Disney can't even make their own films correctly. You just have to laugh. Disney used to be a community of storytellers, and they no longer have that. The last real storyteller that they had was forced out of the company, and that is John Lasseter. You know, after he left, you don't have storytellers. You have merchandisers. That's why you see like this ton of merchandise that's out for the live action Little Mermaid. That merchandise isn't going anywhere. So it used to be with Disney, the story was first, the merchandise second. Now it's merchandise placement first, story second. Shouldn't do it that way. Chef Nation says chefs around the world boycott this film. I still can't believe they left out the chef song. Hmm. For folks who don't know, the chef song reiterated Sebastian's warning about, in Under the Sea, you know, next thing you know, you're swimming around in the lake. Next thing you know, you're on the plate. That's how you get on the plate. Alan says, can't wait for the African American community to come out in droves to support this film with Black Panther numbers. I just, my gosh, this is not gonna, this is not gonna do all, you know, do all that great. This is just how I feel about it. I really don't think there's enough. You will have people, of course, who will go to see it this weekend because it's the opening weekend and they want to see it. But nah, I really I really don't. Although I will say I saw the preview for the movie Wish, the Disney movie Wish animated that's coming out, and the protagonist, can't believe I just happened to see it in the theater. The protagonist is black. She's got braids and everything in her, in her hair. I didn't notice her, but I noticed the premise of the film first, and to see her, she looks like my niece. So that actually looks like it's going to be quite an interesting watch. So check out the trailer. It looks fun. Looks to be a lot of fun. Hello, trick shot Kate Bishop. I'm telling you, this movie's a train wreck. It's an absolute train wreck. It wouldn't matter who the color of the actress is. The story is hot garbage. And again, live action seems to suffer from Disney live action seems to suffer from them thinking, oh, it's live action. We can do it better. No, you can't. And there's things in animation that you cannot do in live action. That's part of the magic, right? But either way, you need a cohesive story. And it ain't here. Hey, OJ, how you doing? Says, hey there. Well, hello, my dear. Always good seeing you, my dear. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. Let's see. I don't understand why Disney hates love and romance. They think female characters need to dominate their love interests. Their heroines don't find happiness in love and family, but in a career slash adventure. How to put it? It's kind of like they want their women to be men. And newsflash, that's really not what a lot of women want to do. They want to be feminine. There's certain feminine, traits. And even if it was just a woman out for adventure, she's not putting down men in order to do it. And that's the crux of it. Love stories have a huge, huge audience around the world. Again, another universal thing that for some reason Disney feels isn't applicable or whatever anymore. Disney needs to stop trying to make their women act like men. And if you want to know again why the Princess franchise is dying, because the quote unquote toxic males are not there to redeem themselves. Case in point, I want to say probably years ago, when I was at Disney before the dark times, I had a meet and greet with Sleeping Beauty. Now, usually you just see Sleeping Beauty out, right? But during the Christmas party, Prince Philip was there with her. I hardly ever see Philip at all. So Camera Girl goes up to meet Sleeping Beauty. It's one of my old school faves. And she's talking to Sleeping Beauty. And then Philip talks to her and says, yes, you need a prince to protect you. And I looked like, hi, you want to take my phone number? And the two of them there together. And it was the coolest freaking thing. Like with Cinderella and Prince Charming. Yeah, both there, had them together. Mickey and Minnie, come on now. Disney needs to just stop, 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 stop with acting as if falling in love is some kind of bad thing. I blame Bob Iger for this. I do in part as well because this has happened under his watch, and um, that is why studios like Universal and Illumination are cleaning the heck up, totally cleaning up. One of my favorite lines in the Super Mario movie was when Peach is like giving out the game plan and everything, and Toad is like ready to go with her. And she's just like, no, you need to leave. And he was like, I will not let them hurt you. Little guy, dead serious. She's like, okay, let's go for it. Stunning and Brave Megatron says, just let women be feminine and beautiful and men masculine and strong. Masculinity is not toxic. Exactly. This is why Indian cinema and foreign cinema in general is eating the lunch of Hollywood right now. It happened for a while. This kind of stuff we used to see all the time. Now it's all in foreign cinema. Hollywood used to lead the way. Now, not so much. When I talk about toxic masculinity, so many people from overseas are like, man, America's backwards. I said, tell me about it. Zephyrus, hello, says, I think the first Wonder Woman did a good job of having a strong female character who was still feminine. Fell in love, and she didn't emasculate her love interests. They were always equal. Yes, that's what I loved about the first Wonder Woman movie. I'm not really that much of a DC fan, but I would watch the Wonder Woman show with Linda Carter in syndication. Strong female character, feminine, fell in love, all of that. She wasn't raised up by emasculating men. I freaking loved her. That's why so many people loved her. Wonder Woman 1984 was a hot trash freaking fire. Ugh. Not good. Not good. I watched some Korean movies and shows, but wouldn't be surprised if Lorena's seen more than me. I've been watching quite a bit. Let's see, Divorce Attorney Shin is good. Juvenile Justice, that is good. The Attorney Woo show is good. And I'm watching Alchemy of Souls right now. That's a fantasy one. That's just crazy. If you like zombies, All of Us Are Dead. That's good too. And I watch a lot of anime. My Hero Academia is just the bomb. Steel Leg of History says there are some really good movies out there in so many different countries that I love. I don't have to be from there to love it. And that is what Hollywood used to be. It's like foreign cinema, I want to see an American movie. And there's universal truths that people can glom onto. That's why Fast X is doing so much money overseas. I saw it. They have a winning formula, and that's why you don't have to be from that country. You don't have to be from America to understand what Fast X is about. And that's why it's doing gangbusters around the world and has been like for years. Did McCarthy do a good job at seducing Eric as a human? No, she had the personality of a dish rag. It was boring. An Unexpected Fire says, when are we doing an OG Little Mermaid watch party? We will need a palate cleanser. Unexpected Fire, I will be setting that up after I get back from vacation. This summer, I'm actually going to be doing a lot of watch parties for Disney Renaissance animation. So we'll see like The Little Mermaid, the OG Lion King. Definitely watching a Goofy movie, and probably gonna see Toy Story as well. So probably watch Hercules too. Just the Renaissance animation Disney. We're gonna be hitting that up this summer. But yeah, I so need a palate cleanser. Plausible deniability or something. I don't know, but it was just ridiculous. What about the Max Ariel moment? Well, there was two that I remember. Um, the one is in the beginning when they're on a ship and Ariel's kind of hiding out, and they're like, "Where's Max?" And Ariel's kind of like petting Max, and Max is there. And then at the end, where Eric's just looking sad because Ariel's not coming back because she's a mermaid, and he throws a stick. Max goes and gets it, brings it back, he throws it again, Max brings it back, he throws it again, Max doesn't come back, and he looks and Max is standing right there next to Ariel. So it was a cute moment. I did like that moment. It was cute. Very cute. Dylan C says, I can't wait to see Jay Longbone's video on this. Oh Lord have mercy. She is going to have a field day with this. Absolutely. I will. Did I say this? Um, it kind of is really irritating when everyone else around either has like a British accent or like a Jamaican accent, and Ariel didn't. So kind of annoyed that didn't happen. I get it. Still, it would have been nice if she would have had a Caribbean accent. Would have been lovely. Shayla King, hello, says, is the eels in the movie? Yes. Yes, Flotsam and Jetsam are in the movie, but Flotsam and Jetsam look like zombies. In the animated version, they had personalities where they would hiss and talk to each other. Poor child, poor child. And, because they were narking on her, all the time. But in the live action version, those eels, they just look lifeless, dead eyes. No life to them whatsoever. That's what I noticed. I was just like, the eels, they're supposed to be the henchmen. They weren't henchmen. They look like floaties, like pool floaties. For real. Zephyrus, no, they do not do the Les Poissons with the French chef, done by Rene Bergenois, which I met Rene Bergenois when he was on Deep Space Nine, and he said that he loved how many people remember him from singing Les Poissons in The Little Mermaid. He said that was one of the accomplishments that he was the most proud of in his acting career. So it's kind of shame they didn't do that. Hey Phil, how you doing? Says hello there. Well, hello and good to see you. We're gonna go for a little bit longer. Delaney 909. It's too long. You got that right. Dang, it's so long. Woo. Flotsam and Jetsam did knock over the boat in the original. Why don't I remember that? It's been a couple years. Why see this when you can watch the amazing original? And how is it over 2 hours long? It's over 2 hours long because they had to dump a bunch of DEI stuff in it. Now, Triton's a bigot. The sisters have to complain about all the damage that ships are doing to the coral reef, which is nonsense. Let's see. The whole thing about learning more from other cultures so we're not left in the dark ages, even though the Caribbean was pretty much had been mapped since 1492. So it's like, come on now, for real. If they would have cut out the DEI garbage and just focused on the story, it would have been 90 minutes. It would have been much better. Shenanigans 0117 says Disney princess model was already struggling to create a market for boys. Making the princess roles into weak men is only going to further alienate males and deprive young boys of good role models. Absolutely. It used to be, besides with Star Wars, the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. A lot of boys were into that. My nephew was into that. They just thought that it was great that they could be a pirate. And even at Cinderella's Royal Table, that restaurant at the Magic Kingdom, for boys, they would give girls like the wands and everything, but they would give the boys swords. And I think at one time they gave them shields too, as well. But it's a shame how much they're depriving young boys of good role models. Yet another reason why anime is so popular. You don't see that there. There's so many great female role models and great role models for young boys as well. And Universal knows this very well. And Disney just keeps forgetting about it. You're going to live by the DEI and die by the DEI. Quang Su says, I think the eels did flip the boat in the original, and then seeing how close they got to kissing was what Ursula decided to go after Eric. I could be wrong. It's been a while. It seems like you're right. For some reason, I didn't remember that part. So Alan let me know about that. So thank you. Zephyr says Ariel not knowing about the deadline makes the tension in the Kiss the Girl song, not whether he will kiss her and break the spell, but whether she will consent without any coercion from the spell. I just thought that was so freaking ridiculous. Consent with whatever. People are just way too sensitive these days. That hashtag Me Too thing didn't work out too well, did it, folks? I figured she needed a good laugh after seeing that movie. You got that right. This movie. Hey, G. Francis, is good evening there, Lorena. Good evening. Good seeing you. Good seeing you. John Self, need that beverage after the movie. Yes, I do. I do. I need that beverage. It's hello, aggressively relaxing. Just got out. It was awesome. Well, I am glad that you enjoyed it. Glad that you enjoyed the movie. I did not. It's okay that you didn't. Let's see. We have a Little Mermaid at home. They say Wish Original, but there's a book of the same name. Really? I'm going to have to hunt that down and check that out. Animation has more charm. It does. It does. So I would say once again, Disney, they're a slave to these live action remakes that lack the soul of the animation. And that's the thing. When we go to see these things, we want to be affected on an emotional level. And the live action remakes don't have the soul for that. And it's a shame. They need to freaking stop. Zephyr says, "You're so right, Lorena. Love stories are universal. It doesn't matter where you go. Every culture can understand boy meets girl." Absolutely. Hey, Sam McCabe says, "Hey, Lorena Creole, lovely to see you. Hope you're well." Well, I am doing very well, hanging out with you guys, letting you know what I saw, what my impression of the live action Little Mermaid is, throwing my spice and salt after your girl spent money to see it in 3D. Again, just giving you my opinion, yours may vary. Aggressively Relaxing says, "The lead is impossibly beautiful and her singing just makes you want to cry. It was an absolutely incredible production. You didn't like it." I didn't like the film, no. I will wholeheartedly agree with you, and I think you're just coming into my stream. Halle Bailey is beautiful. She's absolutely beautiful. Her singing is wonderful. I think I really think that they could have directed her better for Part of Your World because it was just missing. The urgency was missing. We didn't get that longing from her. And I don't think that that's the fault of her singing. I think it's the fault of the person who was directing her. As for incredible production value, they did a good job of rendering the ocean, but there was just too much of a shift between light and dark. Um, Scuttle, Nightmare Fuel, Flounder, again, Nightmare Fuel. Voice actor wasn't that good. Sebastian, did not like how he looked, Nightmare Fuel, but David Diggs, he did a great voiceover with that character. So, no, overall, I did not like it. I gave it like a 4 out of 10. On my biased thing, two out of 10, because the story isn't there, and the story isn't cohesive. And when you don't have a cohesive story, doesn't matter how beautiful it is. It's just not worth the money. But I am glad that you enjoyed it. Let's see. Toxic Hollywood. Disney has developed a bad habit of making their male characters completely passive, e.g., Philip in Maleficent 2 was practically useless. Sam, I loathe the Maleficent movies with a freaking passion. Maleficent is their OG villain. She doesn't care about you. She is unapologetically evil. The woman cursed a baby because she didn't get an invitation to the party. Unapologetic. I don't need to understand Maleficent. I just need to see her breathe fire and for Philip to kill her. That's all I care about. Philip is just like, why was he there? Didn't make any sense. And with the live action Little Mermaid, frankly, if you would have gotten rid of Eric and replaced him with something else, I actually think the story would have been better. But that's just me. Yes, my hero is great. Yes, My Hero Academia is freaking awesome. Awesome anime. I love it. Sam says, "Saw the Little Mermaid last night, mostly a retread. Some additions, changes worked, some were baffling." Yeah, a retread, again, I felt did not have the soul of the original. Some changes were okay. Most of them didn't work. Some didn't make sense. It wasn't cohesive from beginning to end, and it just seemed like a vanity project for Disney to do, to put out there, because what else do they have? But I don't like the racial angle that they went with selling this movie. And again, I don't care what color Ariel was. Story was horrible, and they could have done so much better. Lorena, who's your favorite My Hero Academia character? Oh, All Might. All Might, and second would be Yayorozu. Best film I've seen in a long while was Dungeons and Dragons, which was a surprise. You know, I was too. I watched it on streaming. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Gonna be Magical Mousers. Hello, my darling. Says don't forget a few episodes of the Little Mermaid and Lilo and Stitch the series. I remember the Lilo and Stitch series. I love Lilo and Stitch, especially Stitch. Stitch could beat up Grogu in a fight. Sam McCabe says I would have preferred Eric to have his hero moment. Let him rescue Ariel as she rescued him. Symmetry and all that. Instead, they made him very passive. Didn't like that. And see, that's what irritated me. Eric didn't have his hero moment. Eric wasn't able to prove that he could protect Ariel because that was the thing that made Triton let go, because he knew that Ariel was going to be protected. I Eric was freaking useless. I mean, that emo number literally as soon as that happened didn't work. Shenanigans0117 says, does Eric have a Caribbean accent? No. Do his black parents have accents, but he doesn't? No. Apparently, Eric was a baby, I guess, that showed up in a shipwreck, and I guess the Black King and Queen adopted him, which gives a nice, wonderful message of family. So I did like that, but it kind of felt forced doing that way. Hey, Amanda, good to see you. Good to see you. How would you rate the CGI in this movie, Lorena? I wouldn't rate it very highly. It's extremely obvious and very harsh on the eyes. Again, I saw it in 3D. I've seen way better. The best CGI is when you can't tell if it's real or not. Kind of like how Dune used CGI. This one, I wasn't too cool with it. Hey, Robert says, "Well, I will pass on this movie." That sounds like a good idea. I want my I want, I want my 2 hours back. My 2 hours. Thankfully, I got loyalty points. Amanda says, LOL, other fish do damage to the coral reef. Heck, there could be mermaids doing damage to the coral reef. Why not delve a bit into mermaid culture more? Exactly. They didn't do this. They didn't do it in this one. The only mermaid culture you saw was when all the mermaids and men and mer kids popped out of the ocean at the end. It was cringe. Even from a financial point of view, alienating boys is a horrible decision. I don't know why Disney doesn't care about their bottom line. Right now, they care about the message until BlackRock makes them care about the bottom line. In the meantime, studios like Universal are getting us right. Let's see. That's the word of the day. You gotta have soul. That's so true. We go to movies to get an emotional attachment and an emotional reaction in, in a good way. This movie's soulless. It's honestly, it just made me irritated to be there. Again, Halle Bailey is lovely. Loved seeing her, but Disney failed her. They really did. She deserved something much better to be in than what she got. But Is what it is. Halle Bailey was easily the best part. Yes. Yes, she was. I know you wanted to go to the ticket booth and punch that worker straight in the face. Bruh, you have no idea. I didn't walk out of Quantum Mania as irritated as I walked out of this movie. Yeah, just like, ugh, just nah, just nah. Yeah, I paid for a 3D because it was the 3 o'clock show. That's what it was in. So I got my double loyalty points. I got that. Beauty doesn't make the story. Exactly. Beauty does not make the story. The beauty is the icing on the cake. We need to see something real. Those sea snail mushroom things, I think they ripped those right off of Fantasia. If you go back to Fantasia, the segment that they do from the Chinese dance in from the Nutcracker, that's what it reminded me of, and it was really freaky. Shenanigan says the mouse is dying because they've lost the magic of storytelling. Walt might have been retelling fairy tales, but he made these stories into films for the whole family, kids and adults alike. Absolutely. Absolutely. OG says, LOL, breathe, Loretta, breathe. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's just, was it really beautiful though? Besides Halle Berry, Bester, and her animal friends, beauty only came in splotches. Some parts of it were beautiful, especially the location shot. I think it was shot on location in Italy. I think those are beautiful. That was a beautiful shot. Yeah, fantastic. See, they ripped it even from how it moved. I knew I had seen that somewhere. All the storytellers went to Universal. Universal's killing it. They just want to tell stories with universal themes that people can relate to. And this movie, again, if you like it, you go ahead and you like this movie. But personally, unbiased opinion, 4 out of 10. I do not think that it is worth your time for how much movie tickets cost. Wait for this sucker to come out on Disney Plus. My biased, um, my biased opinion, this is a 2. Don't sell me a movie solely based on diversity. Black people aren't stupid. Okay. Disney, you did it right with Princess and the Frog. That was an original, okay, not original story, but with the cultural standpoint being from New Orleans, it made sense. And you marketed that the right way. I think it's Aniki Noni Rose. She did a beautiful job with that. Beautiful job with that. With this one, just no. It's not worth your time, and Disney needs to finally start realizing, I don't know when they will, is that these live action remakes are not hitting the spot. People do not have money to throw away on stuff like this. We'll say the majority. And if you're looking for families, you missed the mark with this one. Okay, and the last one, Delaney 909 says, when do you think the recycling will end? The recycling will end only when Disney loses enough money. And they haven't hit that point yet. Once they start losing enough money, with these. Then they'll stop. But who knows? Because I think they're so hooked into this whole DEI thing. It's not about the money, it's about the message. I don't see that changing really anytime soon. But who knows? Good surprises. But I doubt it. Stunning and Brave Megatron says Lorena should dress as Princess Tiana. I might. I might. I have two Princess Tiana action figures actually. Well, no, one's a Precious Moments doll, and another one is a high fashion doll. And Amanda says, "Oh yes, Anika Noni Rose knocked it out of the park. I love, and she could sing too. Almost there. Freaking loved it. Really enjoyed Princess and the Frog. The fact Prince Naveen was basically a sex pest, heavy as stitches, and Raymond is a classic. Raymond, you can call me Raymond. Cajun Firefly, I love that. Oh, it was so sad when he died. Disney plans to keep recycling for the next 4 to 5 years. What else do they have? Not a whole lot. Well, folks, this is going to wrap it up. I went longer than I planned, but you guys had so much great points to make, and I kind of wanted to address all those. Just wanted to give my impression of the film, what I thought, just to kind of make you guys informed and let you know what's going on. Aquafina was annoying. Straight up annoying, really. Even more so than she was in Doctor Strange too. Yeah. Mm-mm. So, folks, thank you so much for just the chats you guys were sending, super chats, shouting out the stream. I wholeheartedly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're watching this on the replay, let me know, what were your thoughts about the movie? If you've seen it yet, did you like it? Did you not like it? Would definitely love to hear from you about that. Okay. So, folks, I am going to go actually get some dinner because I haven't had dinner yet. But because of this movie, I had to jump on here and let you guys know about it and kind of what I thought. So, you guys are amazing. Take care. As always, thank you so much for supporting my channel. And you all have an amazing and blessed evening. Bye.